Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of Requiem. Yay! Episode 24, we're playing again, that's awesome. So, there's nothing for me to say this time, other than thanks so much to everybody who's been watching, once again. If you haven't, or if you want to catch up with previous episodes, you can find them on YouTube, and if you're watching them on YouTube right now, well, guess what? We also do these live on Saturdays at a time that is listed down below in the description of the video. Pretty crazy that I don't have to say the time again. But a lot of things to do this session, so we want to get into this as fast as possible. Is everybody ready? Are the players ready? Are you guys
of course
ready? All right. Then in 3, 2, 1, let's roll out the intro and get into the shit. And we're back.
Hello.
So,
Hello.
Violet just got a new voice. Now you got to do that for the rest of the episode.
Oh no.
I'm gonna punch you.
So
She got shrunk.
so somebody used reduce on her.
Yeah.
So before we continue, how about a little recap of what happened on the previous episode, which was fantastic, and you should watch it, and not just a recap. Anyway, the last time we sat at this virtual table, Velox Mors had just defeated a thread, a little piece of the Weaver's master plan, and whatever it is he wants to do in this good Idus. After defeating this thread, the heroes decided to investigate a little bit about the place where they were, to investigate a little bit about the corpse, or about this creature, about anything that they could find, any knowledge that could help them. But sadly, nothing of worth was found other than things that were already obvious, like cats always fuck up at the worst possible time and loses a player occasionally. But moving on, after grabbing the bodies of all the survivors of this fight, they headed upstairs back into the temple, and they were met with the embrace. They talked with the mother, who they learned was actually the daughter, even though she sees through her mother's eyes and speaks for the mother. They learned a little bit more about the story of the Dragon's Bane family, but most importantly out of all of this, they got 2,000 gold and learned that the man who set the events that caused Arthur's death was none other than Velasco, an important little piece in Vesper's path, and past, actually. After that, the heroes were delivered Sargon Verkesh, the one that they were trying to get back from the embrace in order to help Omar, their friend. But he was in a sorry state, a state that they didn't quite understand, a state that they tried desperately to heal him from, but nothing would make him better. After greater restoration that did improve his state a little bit, but didn't fully heal it, our heroes were desperate. And when Violet touched the man, she received a message, an intention that was born in the back of her mind that told her she should kill that man. She should kill Sargon because he had killed before during this craze, during this madness that affected him. And so Violet was ready to do as her goddess commanded. In order for this madness to not spread, she was willing to kill him. But her friends and Omar had a different plan. Vesper and Nemeli both made compelling speeches in trying to appeal to Violet's reason and to Violet's own soul. Haj'Draal tried a more aggressive approach, trying to tackle Violet, but failing, and then trying to launch a hold person her way and failing as well. These two rolls were a natural 1 on his part at first, and then a natural 20 on Violet's part. This is important. Then, finally, Vesper and Nemeli managed to convince Violet to let Sargon go. They trusted Omar, or Violet trusted Omar. She trusted that he would kill Sargon if he ever tried to attack anyone, or if he ever got out of line. And right after Omar leaves with his unconscious friend, a prayer is made by none other than Haj'Draal, your local friendly neighborhood cleric. And with a usage of divine intervention, on a 12% chance, my man rolls the dice and succeeds. And for the first time ever in any campaign that I've played in, a divine intervention was successful, and Dalgar, the god of the seas and of peace, the soothsayer, lent his full power to Haj'Draal and allowed him to perform a miracle that resulted in the healing, the complete healing of Sargon Verkesh. Now, I am selling this whole event short, so I recommend you go watch it. It's chaptered, you'll find it easily. You just go watch that, and you watch how that whole situation unfolded and how it was just tense for like half an hour, and then suddenly everybody was screaming. I'm telling you, it's worth it. But the following day, both Nemeli and Haj'Draal went to Omar's place and confirmed that Sargon was indeed healed. But now, without wasting much more time, we travel across the city, where Violet and Vesper are, traveling through the streets and plotting Vesper's revenge on Velasco. There are 3 V's happening here: Violet, Vesper, and Velasco. So if I mix up the names at any point, I am sorry about that. But it's sometimes gets complicated. So, you had spoken about this vengeance, Vesper. And I'm going to say that in between each episode, both Violet and Vesper, you could have been talking, if you guys already have a plan, you could have been discussing this plan until then. It's fine if you don't want to show it immediately. I don't mind that. But this is where we come back to both of you, the streets of Port Nemeli. What do you do?
By the way, Onion, you forgot the true highlight of last episode. Don't jump!
Don't spit!
So close. So close.
you picked that. You picked the moment when I drank water to say that. Jesus Christ, that was funny, dude.
Gosh, Don't Jump was my favorite.
Yes.
Yes.
Fucking hilarious. All right, you'll see that too. Anyway, Violet and Vesper, street support Nemeli,
Revenge. So, I actually just forgot something. Did we decide we were gonna get the staff first or not?
we can just say that you guys have the staff if
have
you
it.
just want to drop the 2,000 gold.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll drop.
Drop the 2,000 gold. You get
What
the
was
staff.
the name of the staff? again?
Sorcery's Bane.
Thank you.
That shit very strong.
Yee. Okay.
I hope you enjoy it.
I already love it.
I'm certain I'm going to love it.
Now I have 2 sticks.
You have 2. That's true. You have 2 sticks.
Okay, so outside Velasco's place.
All right, you're already there. Very well.
Shall we just skip to that? I don't think we want to give anything away yet.
Okay, so
So you do have a plan. Then.
we already
do.
discussed everything. She already showed me what I had to see. And Violet will use a ring of disguise to disguise as Arthur.
That's fucked up. All right, Vesper, do you want to describe how Arthur looks to everyone?
He is a very wrinkled gnome with big round cheeks and a big fluffy brown mustache. He wears little glasses. And he's very he has the look in his eyes like a friendly old man, you know, just like your grandpa or something. Just a very kind looking old man. Bald, just his mustache. That's all he's got.
This is all the hair he's got in his body.
Yep. In his whole body. So,
All
general vision of what Arthur looks like.
Violet, you look like that.
So, Violet will enter the shop and we'll just casually look into the shop stuff. Everything that is in stock, just casually just looking.
All right. I don't know what the fuck you hope to achieve with this, but I'm game. So, you disguise yourself in an alleyway, I would say, and then move to go inside of Velasco's shop. Velasco's scrolls and supplies. You see that the giant windows out front where all kinds of wands and magical items are displayed, from even hats and broomsticks. And you walk in. The little chime on the door makes its dangly-dingly noise. It's a busy day. There are a lot of students inside picking things off the shelves. The employees guiding them across the many aisles. This is a very large space, if you remember, with multiple bookcases and various shelves and items just floating about, blipping out of existence and then appearing in people's hands. And you are just looking at the product there.
I will try to be close enough for him to take a look at me, but not like immediately in front of him, just around there, and wait for him to look at me.
Okay, you move closer to the counter and you see Velasco, the slick back, short black hair, the half-elven look, and the thin handlebar mustache that he has. And as you appear close there, he narrows his eyes your way.
And I will do my best impression of Arthur's smile. And I will misty step away to a place that he doesn't see.
All right. Outside?
Not outside. Just, is there any place that it can't see me if I go there?
Yeah, I would say if you go like to the opposite end of the shop, you might be able to.
Okay.
All right. You misty step away.
But I smiled first.
Yeah. When you smiled, he narrowed his eyes further, but now that you've misty stepped, you don't know what he's doing. You can't see him.
Mm-hmm.
Vesper takes his time. She's been waiting. She gave enough time.
Okay.
Push open the door and stand there in the doorway for a minute, looking straight at Velasco at the counter.
He kind of, you see that he was handling a client while this situation happened, and as the chime sounds again, he looks at you and he narrows his eyes further.
Slowly walks up to the counter.
Okay.
Are you finished with your customer?
You see a little this very skinny this very skinny dude with like curly hair and these like tiny little spectacles above his nose. He goes, yeah, he's finished. And he grabs a scroll off the counter and leaves, grabbing it very fast with his scroll. What do you want, Vesper?
She like puts her elbow up on the counter, stares at him straight in the eyes. I know it was you, and I know you turned your scrawny little tail to the Shimmerstone Enclave. I know exactly what you've done, Velasco. I heard it from the embrace.
Right.
Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Well, to be fair, no, I don't have anything to say other than I was only fulfilling the laws of his own country, since he didn't do it. That's all I did. Whatever happened afterwards, I had nothing to do with it. And I was just as saddened to hear about his passing as anyone would have been.
You forget yourself, Velasco. 'Tis not your laws to uphold. You're nothing but a pitiful merchant who couldn't even compare to half the man that Arthur was.
Right. Because us merchants here, we don't have families, we don't have needs, so we are supposed to compete with forbidden technology that the world apparently wouldn't be ready to even see or use. We are supposed to compete with that technology with our ancient other arts, and it's supposed to be suddenly fair. It's supposed to be suddenly fair that that man that comes from out of nowhere sells his shit here, and we lose money off of it. Do you not realize that your noble man, or whatever you call him, he wasn't that much of a noble. He was nothing either. All he did was screw us over, and when we've politely asked for him to stop, he didn't. And why? Do you think he cared for helping people with his things? Or do you think he only cared about making money and breaking the rules of his own country just for the sake of it? You seem so high and mighty, Vesper, but what have you come here to do? Threaten me? Threaten a merchant that was only watching for his own back, as well as his colleagues in his home town?
Velasco. You don't understand. Arthur was helping people, and yes, there was money made along the way. And the things that he sold solved problems that you couldn't. Instead of trying to innovate, instead of trying to be better, you decide to fall on ancient laws that aren't even yours, to save your own skin. Arthur never threatened you, never wanted any harm for any of these merchants. And if I ever catch wind of you running to the Shimmerstone Enclave again, you will wish and pray that I had killed you here today.
Is that a threat?
Because I did not threaten anything.
Right. You didn't.
But it's your fault that he is dead, and that is a guilt that you have to live with.
Wait. It's my fault. Isn't it his fault? Wasn't he breaking the rules in the first place? Isn't he the one to be responsible?
Velasco.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is exactly about rules and laws. That's why he died. He broke them, and you can't be surprised that people wanted to enforce them to be fair. Get out of my shop! Now!
Vesper just stares at him. And if I don't?
You see all the employees gather at the hall, all of them with wands at the ready.
Violet immediately misty steps in front of Vesper. And removes the ring, of course.
You will attack me?
You will not threaten me in my shop, in my city. You will not. I am not some useless little wizard, and I am not some useless little gnome selling contraband technology. I have studied at the Institute, and I have far more power than you could ever even think of. Leave my shop, Vesper, before I call the guards. They will not take kindly to a stranger threatening someone from their city. Leave.
I have done more for this city than you could ever imagine, Velasco. I am not afraid of you.
I will not ask you again.
I will leave. But this is not the last you'll see of me. This I swear to you. And she'll look at his employees and be like, be careful. This man is dangerous. And then she'll look at, is Violet still?
She would be. She said she would.
I removed the disguise.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't hear. She'll look at Violet and be like, we leave. I have no desire to cause trouble for the guards of this city. But this man, he is nothing but trash. He is not worth my time. And then she leaves.
I spit, and I go away.
Your spit, as you spit, your spit flows and floats on the ground or above the ground, and then heads straight back to your face. You can dodge it if you want.
Of course.
I'm just saying.
I like that.
I was thinking, roll for an attack.
Is that an attack?
It's not an attack. You want to take 1 point of damage from spit in the face?
Wet damage.
No, pride damage.
Pride damage.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave then.
All right. What else you want to do?
That went well. No, I don't.
Vesper's fuming.
I'll just ask, are you okay?
You have no idea how badly I wanted to kill that man. But it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And as she's like walking past a random building, she just punches it with all of her strength.
Damn, someone inside just got a big spook.
Man, I wanted to kill him as much as you. It's not worth it. We have
places to be. We have bigger problems to deal with.
exactly.
You can see she's really struggling to convince herself.
I understand.
I'll just say hey, and I'll give her a hug.
She squeezes her a little tighter.
Gross.
Come on.
I'm kidding.
Just
All right.
because we're lesbians?
Come on. That is not at all the point. You hugged. How is that even?
I just wanted to mess with you.
Gee, yeah, so the kid running around just yells, "Gay!"
Okay. Okay.
All right, what are you guys doing now?
I guess we
wait.
are. I assume we agreed on a meetup spot before we split. I
would
guess
say
back
so.
at the end.
I would say so.
So
All
Maybe.
right. So
Maybe at the
yeah.
docks, for example, so we can.
wherever you guys want to go, or center of town, so that you're equidistant from every place you could possibly be going to.
Okay.
sure, that works.
Yeah, center of
Whatever,
town.
whatever you guys prefer. All right.
Let's go to a nice park, having a conversation, eating a sandwich.
I don't think Emily wants to see parks. At the same time.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the last time was pretty traumatic for her.
poor Emily.
Well, but at least this time it wouldn't happen theoretically.
Theoretically.
Yeah. Anyway, I would say that you guys convene and gather with each other.
All right, as we meet up, Haj'Draal will talk to Violet.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
I don't want to.
That was funny. As we meet up, Haj'Draal will talk to Violet.
Right. So as we converge and we meet up, Haj'Draal, yeah, I got cozy on it. It's about to.
Is that a dog on the blanket?
Yes. It's all
Oh,
Aw.
yeah, dog. What did dog do?
You wanna pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog? What is...
I have a Spider-Man one if you'd rather look at that.
Oh,
No, dog.
Shit,
Oh,
is it a Spider-Man one?
we got
Oh, it's
no.
no. Okay, wait.
It's copyrighted though.
mine is simple. It's just black.
Damn. Hey, don't worry.
Oh my god, it looked a bit
Burrito.
like this one for a second. Hey yo,
Spidey.
Spidey. Got the OG Naruto one. This shit is
That's sick, dude.
comfy
Alright.
as fuck.
Let's do it. I'm
So-
ready.
Everybody get comfy.
Haj'Draal, god damn it. Okay. Haj'Draal will cross his arms and he'll say to Violet, "So, Violet, have you lit off the drinks yet? Did drinking help you lose your mind nearly as much as yesterday?"
I don't know why you are with that kind of jokes. You know exactly why I did that.
Please do tell me why you would kill an innocent person.
Didn't you feel the same as I felt? Didn't you feel that that guy was going to kill innocent people?
I felt a tormented man that was sick that we could help. And we did help.
You did.
And you wanted to kill him. I can't stand by that. And you know that very well.
How did you help him?
That was not me.
It was.
But it... Emma.
Fucking what? She tells other people to not jump, but Emily jumps in everywhere.
Bless Emily.
It doesn't matter how he was healed. But he is. He's good now. But if it were up to you, Violet, he would have been laying dead and buried already. An innocent man. A soul that was in saving.
I'm assuming it was your god that helped.
And who exactly was responsible for this thirst of yours? Was it also a god?
Yes, but well, not like your god. Mine works immediately. Doesn't wait for everything to go down.
Does can I make a religion check to know what Haj'Draal knows about I mean, have I heard about Maedref even?
Yeah.
Yes, I have, right?
Maedref is of the
course.
No, but I mean, if I've heard it, like that is your god. I did, right?
Yeah.
Like I know that, yeah, associated with Maedref.
You know it is Maedref, but you can make a religion check, and I'll tell you a bit about Maedref's religion to see what Haj'Draal can get out of this conversation.
Okay, yeah. What I want to know like the general knowledge about this god, and I also want to know if there's like any relation, like any connection with Dalgar or APEC.
Very well. Very well.
19.
For this, all right. So, few things immediate things you know about Maedref. So, Maedref is the goddess of nature and freedom, and in that she has a common domain with Dalgar. So, Dalgar watches over the seas. Seas are part of nature. Maedref has a common touch or a touch in common with Dalgar in that section, that particular section. The other thing that you also glean is that there are multiple aspects of Maedref. One of the aspects you recognize or you know is the one behind Violet's powers is the aspect of the Huntress. And the aspect of the Huntress is often focused in punishing people responsible for the removing of freedom in some way. So tyrants, murderers, killers, things of the sort. The aspect of the Huntress is said that she punishes them. It has other aspects though. With a 19, I would say that the one you would be. Which one of the other would it be? Give me just a moment. I don't want to give everything away because 19 is not above 20, and we save everything for the really amazing rolls. Yeah, I would say that you also know of the aspect of the Outlander, which would be the one closest to the places you visited, Haj'Draal. And the aspect of the Outlander is more focused on pilgrimage. It is a patron to pilgrims. It is a patron to to explorers, people who like to wander around in forests. And it is generally associated more with healing magic and with druidic circles and with growing of forests and things of the sort. It is more heavily leaning towards the nature part of Maedref's faith than the aspect of the Huntress is.
Okay.
But aside from that, there is, on a 19, I can tell you, speaking of the goddess in relation with APEC, Maedref is a younger goddess than Dalgar. There was an order in which the gods were ascended. Maedref was after Dalgar ascended to become a god. And this kind of the order of ascension is something that is loosely known in the more like tight religious circles. There is chronology of this, but for someone who just loosely knows of religions, they just know that one is older than the other, you know, kind of like that. But yeah, Maedref is younger than Dalgar, but they are both gods, ascended gods of the same pantheon, and generally would have nothing against each other. They would actually be cooperators in most cases, as they
All right.
defend similar things.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So, where were we again in the conversation?
My god acted immediately. Yours was late.
Okay. So Haj'Draal will say, Violet, we're here to work together. I'm not here to act as your parental figure. Do better, and you know this. Whatever, I don't blame you for following a god, of course. That would be hypocritical of me. But it doesn't seem right to be mowing down innocent people for so-called vengeance.
Look, I don't know how your relationship to your god works, cleric man, but I swore a fucking oath. And I would have sworn in my life if I had to. So, what we are dealing with is a worldwide fucking creature, entity. I don't fucking care. And if just one person has to die before the world becomes a better place, I would fucking kill that person.
What?
I don't care.
What if it was Ketri?
How it could be Ketri? Ketri is good. Ketri follows another god. Goddess. Goddess?
Well,
Goddess.
then let's not hope that Ketri gets infected and your marvelous god tells you to kill her, just like you would.
We'll see if it comes to that.
Well, Violet, swear your life away, but I have sworn my soul, and in fact, I have already bestowed my soul upon Dalgar to protect the innocent and to bring peace to this world. So, if push comes to shove, I hope I don't see you on the other hand of my harpoon. I was trying to say blade, but I don't have a blade.
I hope I don't see you on the pointy end of my harpoon.
You better hope not.
Very well.
All right. I would like to add something to this, if I may. In these moments where both of you are clashing, you sense that this clash isn't... It's not just happening through your words. You sense some friction, some attrition of something outside of yourselves. A disagreement between something other than just both of you. And
bless you. Ironically.
it was the he's mad at you.
No, I meant ironically because we were talking about gods.
But you are not sure for a moment if that... Are you done?
I'm sorry.
How could you?
Have you regulated your mucus?
That is a disgusting word. But as you sense that friction, you are then unsure that although it is outside of yourselves, that if it was born within you, you are unsure if this feeling is yours, or if you're being misguided by something into believing that there's a friction. And that question will remain for a little while in your minds. Your minds.
With that, I will ask, and why the fuck are you still with us? We have
I
a fucking mission. You joined us because of the things happening in Soguk. We are outside of Soguk. Why are you still with us?
It's a common goal we have, Violet. I think it's best for all of us to remain together, I would say.
We discussed this. Yes.
Are you still sure of that?
I am, Violet. I don't trust that you're a bad person. We just... let's call it a disagreement. Maybe in the future, we can solve this. I'm well aware of that. But... let's not go that way.
Sure. Where are we going now?
Dang.
Well done, well done.
So are we ready to leave the city? This place is not cool.
Are you laughing, Vesper?
Vesper!
Vesper.
Why are you laughing, Vesper?
I'm sorry, pilot.
You're not supposed to be laughing, Vesper. Oh, I spat all
You're
over my
serious,
screen. Jesus. I have to actually wipe my screen. I fucking spat all over it.
So we already have the stuff for Vesper, and should we continue? I'm talking outside Vesper for this Violet.
There's for this already.
There's been a few.
It's one of those days.
I'm talking outside of the table. Should we continue the trip to Oaza, or should we do something else here?
I think so. I think we're done here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's nothing else. My end.
We're broke again, so.
Damn.
Pretty much, yeah. So, are we going to the sand eaters?
Sand
Cutters.
Sand cutters?
Yeah, I would say
I'm
so.
excited to see what these are. Even though Vesper already knows, apparently.
Yes, Vesper knows. All right, very well. So, sand cutters it is. Oh, I know that you guys now, that I've made you excited about the sand cutters, but I would also like to tell you that it's possible, to remind you that it's possible to travel to Oaza by river and by sand cutter. So, both are possible. Sand cutter is faster, but it's through the middle of the desert. There could be some danger. River tends to be safer, but it is slower, much slower actually. So I would say, Vesper, you know that traveling by sandcutter would get you. I would say we're still in the morning, so it would be 2 nights, and then the following morning you would be in Oaza. Whilst by river it would take you probably 3 to 4 days, depending on anything that could happen. So sandcutter is the fastest locomotion. So still sandcutter despite the risk.
Mm-hmm.
All
I
right.
apologize, Haj'Draal, but I am sick of water.
Yeah, you did spend fucking 20-something days at sea.
How you would love to be in my shoes.
And his shoes are actually just fucking full of water.
Yeah.
His boots are clogged.
Squelch,
Yeah.
Wet socks all around, year round.
All right, so you guys move through Port Nemeli, confident that you've left it a better place than it was when you've arrived, despite what you've been told by some dickhead with a handlebar mustache in a shop. And as you're traveling through the city, once again, I would just like to say that the people seem to be better. They are not as scaredy and as averse to even bumping or being close to you as they were, but it seems that whatever was here has left a lasting impact on people. And it has left a lasting impact on you. But you leave Port Nemeli through the northeastern gate. Excuse me, and you move along a rockier portion of desert at an incline up. You move this through, or on this incline for about an hour. On a road, it's a very well-trodden road, and you look back at Port Nemeli and at the Institute, the tower of the Institute just shimmering in the distance, the golden peaks, the sea far off. And you see now, after this hour of traveling, you reach the top of a cliff that has a few buildings that are kind of covered in rugs that extend then outward into tents and such. There are people moving towards this place and also from it. You arrive inside this small settlement properly, and you notice that this entire space it's a small settlement. It's all built on a stone platform, and that the other side of the cliff, the opposite from where you climbed up the slope, it seems to be the descent seems to be a lot steeper than the slope that you've climbed. It's almost like a direct 90-degree angle down, and far over and away, a desert. Dunes and dunes like waves in the sea. This platform kind of juts out of the cliff in wooden docks. And attached to these wooden docks, you see very lithe and narrow ships with seemingly less flexible, or at least kind of less loose sails. But they look like ships. They're hanging on the side of these docks, kind of like above the cliff. And they're affixed by some sort of wooden structure that's kind of combined with chains to not let them just fall down into the cliffside. These are, in fact, sand cutters, Vesper. You look to the side and you see a group of men pulling beasts of burden as they carry one such ship, which is no longer than like 25 feet in length, and they're kind of dragging it on ramshackle wheels. As you guys kind of enter this dock area, a woman, short in stature and with her head kind of peeking out of a swirl of scarves, with goggles on her forehead, approaches you. She has a kind of tan and freckled skin with very dark eyes that move quickly in their orbit, almost like she's on cocaine, for lack of a better analogy. Her ears are slightly pointy, and her hair is like kind of like very short dreads, all kind of flowing backward. And she approaches you and goes, "Hello, strangers. Looking for a sand cutter, traveling through the desert, going on an adventure, sightseeing, racing, seeking thrill?"
Something like that.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Quibble?
Something like that.
Yes, it's quibble. Well. I'm Nesli. I can get you wherever you need to go faster than anyone can. And safer, too. Probably. Most likely.
Do we get the sense she is a captain of a ship, or does she only sells, or does she just rent?
You have no idea.
Are you a captain of these things?
Captain. I can't be very much of the captain if I'm the only one of the crew. Then again, I could be the captain since I'm the only one of the crew, and the crew is of one, and I'm the captain. So, if you're asking me if I have a sand cutter, yes, I have a sand cutter. I have a sand cutter named Fireball II.
What happened to the first one?
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. And
Well then.
do you know the desert well? Do you know how to get to Oaza?
Of course.
Do you know the creatures that we might face?
Of course.
How long will
Name
that
them.
trip be?
I'd say after 2 nights we'll get there. 2 nights in the desert, 2 nights on Fireball II, and you'll be at your destination. That is a Nesli guarantee.
Very inviting.
Can I, since she's lying?
Go ahead, roll an insight check for me.
Insight. 11.
Seems to be honest. Also incredibly excited, probably desperate for business.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Do we see anybody else with their sand cutters?
There are people tending to their own sand cutters, yes. There's the gentlemen that were dragging one back to the docks, to these air docks.
I will leave them with Leslie.
Mm-hmm.
And I will try to find the one that seems the most honest, hard worker, sand cutter captain.
All right, roll an insight check for me.
Inside. Oh, I have +0. 14.
All right. So you give a glance around, and you see what seems to be an old man, or older man, with gray beard and kind of darker skin, curly gray hair as well. He seems to be kind of well built, even for someone that it seems to be on their elder years. Seems to be well built and kind of like dry built. He has his arms out of like an assortment of scarves and cloth that he just has wrapped around himself. And that seems to be, he's like working on one of the sand cutters. It's a longer sand cutter, about, I would say 35 feet long, which is definitely longer than any of the other ones here. And he's just hanging out by a sand cutter, fixing up some things, repairs.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Do you make travels with customers?
Of course, that is the business here. The only problem is at this moment I am finishing some repairs on my cutter. It will only be ready perhaps at night.
Thank you. And I go away.
Damn!
That was a nope.
Perfect interaction there. So as you leave, Nesli goes to all three of you. Why is your friend leaving? She done. Why is she leaving? I told you I got Fireball II ready to go, fired up, ready to go. Why is she leaving?
I think she's still concerned about the first fireball.
well. Look, if the first fireball had it so bad, why would there be a second one? Right?
Fair point.
It's like a child. It's like a child situation, right?
It's the improved version, correct?
Exactly. It's a version. It's the second version. It's improved version. Is your friend coming back?
Looking at Violet.
I'll just say, wait a bit.
Give it a
Can
moment.
I find the second most honorable man? Woman.
I'd say, aside from that individual, there is one other that seems to have the sand cutter seemingly ready, but he wouldn't be obviously fitting your description. You see kind of a man probably around his 30s, orcish in nature, with a very, very strong jaw. But one of his eyes is kind of heavily wounded and removed out of the orbits, out of the sockets, and there's just like flesh in there. It's not the same thing you've seen on Weaver creatures where there's just black holes. It's flesh. There's flesh in there. And he's a very tall, broad individual, but with a big gut. He doesn't exactly fit your description at first, but he has another sand cutter ready as well. Regular sized.
Good morning. How much for a trip to Oaza?
Trip to Oaza would run you about 25 gold apiece per passenger.
Okay. And was it a sand creature that did that to you?
No, it was my wife. Ex-wife. I guess you could call her a sand creature. She's from the desert.
And do you know the creatures? that
My
you might-
ex-wife, oh!
No, not that. The sand creatures. The actual, literal sand creatures that we might encounter.
I know quite a few of them, yes.
What's the most dangerous?
Most dangerous. It's probably desert manticores. Those are dangerous.
Okay.
I don't know if either that or...
Your wife?
Ha! That was humor! No. My wife isn't that dangerous when compared to a DUNE eater.
Do you know if they are weak to something?
No, I don't. I'm sorry, I got lost in thoughts of my ex-wife.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back.
Right.
Thank you for your information.
No problem.
I go back to Nesli.
It's not Leslie Knope from Parks and Recreation. It's not her.
What's your price?
I'll I'll go ahead and I'll make this at a discount since you seem to be fair folk. I'll make it at 1 gold each of you.
Oh.
Sus.
Why such a difference?
Sus.
I don't trust her.
What's wrong? I love doing this. Sand cuttering is my business. It's my life. I love traveling through the desert. It's how our ancestors did it. Why should I do it for more money than I need to survive?
How long have you been doing this for, Nesli?
Yeah, well, so Fireball the First was, I'm doing this for about 2 years and a half. But I'm very young.
And how many trips have you done?
Oh, well, so Fireball the First was about 50 trips. Fireball the Second is done for 127 trips and counting. So?
And can you tell me exactly what happened to the Fireball the First?
Let's just say it got an ending worthy of its namesake.
And did someone die?
I'm alive, aren't I?
Did someone die?
Well, Fireball did.
Did someone alive died?
Fireball was alive before he died.
Did you have any passengers?
I, myself?
Only you?
No, I had some others.
Did they die?
No, just seriously wounded.
I'm sorry, what?
They're just seriously wounded.
I don't understand.
Closed captions, please.
Inside check, and I... Can I see if they died?
Make an inside check.
Can I help her?
You can give her advantage if you want.
Oh, natural 20!
What she was saying was, no, just seriously wounded.
No.
Okay.
I laughed
Whoa.
so hard that I now have to pee. I'm sorry.
You can go ahead. You can go ahead and do that.
But it's a desert. You have a lot of places to be.
Yeah, you can just go. Oh, I'm sorry.
Nesli, you are very nice, but I prefer to go with someone more professional.
No, please, I am professional. I'm telling you, 127 trips and counting? No accidents.
Well, not to be the devil's advocate, but she is still alive after all.
I am, and so are the other people. Just seriously wounded.
This seems like a dangerous job, and you have your life and experience to show for it, at least.
Right, and trust me, there's no one out there that understands Dune Eaters better than I do. And I understand that they might be your biggest concern, but I know them well. They won't hurt you.
How do you fight them?
You don't fight them. That's the biggest mistake. People think that they're so aggressive and mean. They're not really. You just have to know how to move your cutter. And I know how to move mine.
Well, I guess my friend here is against me in every decision I might make in the future. So we can go with you and die in the process. Let's go.
I will look, hear me out on this.
Haj'Draal gives a little side eye to Violet.
If you die, I'll give you your money back.
Yes! Let's go!
Any other insurance that you might cover?
Right, so right this way, please. Follow me.
While we're going, I'll say, if we die, I'll make sure you die with us.
To her?
Yeah.
But like, how will that work?
Okay, team, make a plan. If all of us die, Haj'Draal dies last and he uses revive, and then Violet kills her, and then she fucking kills herself. And we're out of it.
Violet has 10 intelligence, okay?
So she has average intelligence. This was definitely an average intelligence comment. All right. So, Nesli takes you to her sand cutter, which is currently docked. It's made of kind of this light brown wood with some variations in the shade on the deck and the railings, and the hull is painted with flames.
Sick.
And she goes, "Everyone, meet Fireball II, please climb aboard." You all go?
I climb aboard.
Right? You all climb aboard the sand cutter, and you notice that it sways with your weight. It seems like a very, very light vehicle. It's very narrow, but still you can all stand shoulder to shoulder and have a bit of room. The helm of the ship is this sort of like raised pulpit with a wheel and a bunch of levers on the sides. You can only imagine what they would do. One of them probably sets the ship on fire. As you look over the ship, there's just a 50-foot drop at a very steep incline that then slowly fades to the desert and dunes. You notice...
Nettie.
Yeah.
Before we proceed.
Right.
With how many people do you usually do these trips with?
Right, I've done one with 10 people, but that one ended with everyone seriously wounded. But for... Usually I can take like about 6 or 5 properly with no additional danger other than everything in the desert.
We're all going to die.
It feels very narrow for 4 people.
Right, it does feel narrow, but it's you could also just, you know, stand at its length instead of its width, and it would be easier, you know. I'm no genius, but
well, I'll do that.
Right.
I'll try not to be cuddling up with everyone, I guess.
You notice actually, Haj'Draal, in this moment, that attached to the railings and the mast, because it does have a mast, there are leather belts. Yes, there are leather belts. And she climbs up to the pulpit, and she goes, Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please fasten your safety belts for this part of the raid and hold on tight to each other, the ship or your god. The pilot of this cutter will be eternally grateful. Please. Chop chop.
I'll fasten the belt.
I will fasten my seatbelt, but also offer additional support to Emily because I feel like she would be the one to suffer the most from this.
All right. Verveni desert lions can't be held liable for any ripped body parts, broken bones, or accidental falls into the dunes. Any complaints, please file them with your maker. Everyone ready?
So whenever we're gonna start, Emily will start singing like kind of a rock song so that her dress changes to like flames as well. Just so that it's the same.
Wait, wait. We're gonna switch the soundtrack if I still have it here. Wait. I mean, why the hell not? Let's do this.
Oh my god.
Yes.
So, you look in Nesli's eyes, Emily, and you ready up your loot. You turn up the distortion, and your dress begins to change into the flaming look that you want. Nesli cracks her knuckles. She almost in slow-mo puts on her gloves. These like leather fingerless gloves. Grabs onto the helm with her left hand and places her right hand on the lever. And she goes, "Everyone ready?"
Yeah!
You can see Haj'Draal praying for all of us.
All right! She pushes the lever and the sand kind of goes down into the cliff. You see, as it's falling down into a complete nosedive, the bottom of the cliff approaches quickly and quicker, and then you hear and you feel your feet, something come out of the ship. And you look to the sides. As gravity shifts and the nose rights itself, you see two wings popping out of the hull. And for a moment, you're gliding above the dunes, looking out into the infinite desert. And the wind is strong. And it carries some sand even at this height, and you kind of have to cover a little bit. But for that moment, you're gliding just in the air. And then Nesli looks at you, all of you, as you begin to suddenly plummet, gaining speed towards the sand, and she goes, "All right, everybody good? Everybody surviving? No lost limbs? No nothing?"
Yeah.
Seems like it.
Dropping blade! And she pulls on another lever, and you feel the hull sink, and as you hit the ground, you see the sand cutter slow down the approach on the dunes, and then beginning to slowly sway up and down on the desert, kind of like those, you know, those boards that people do on rivers where they're just doing like that. The sand cutter just sways up and down, and it speeds up and it continues speeding up, and you see Nesli kind of drop down her goggles, and she says, "All right, we're gonna go fast now, so cover your eyes, cause sand might get in there. Eyes and other holes, you know the drill." And as she clicks down another lever, you see the sail at the mast open up, and the ship suddenly moves even faster forward as the up and down motion continues, and you gain more speed.
God damn.
A roller coaster. I want to
All
go.
right.
Woo!
Back to my current favorite song for this campaign, because it's where cool things happen, and so now the Hand of Fate is going to be playing. All right, so after kind of this initial shock, you see now how the sand cutter, or how sand cutters can be much faster than the ships, as when you climb above a dune, it just kind of glides for a while, and then slowly falls down in the sand. And you also notice that the sand, like, it goes pretty deep, because the hull of the ship does touch the dunes before coming back up in that swaying motion. And then as you kind of are as you kind of finally reach a slower speed, Nesli goes, "All right, cruise speed achieved. You may remove your belts as long as you don't mind the swaying. As you might guess, Fireball II doesn't have any accommodations nor sanitation, so if you need to relieve yourselves, please do so in your own pantaloons or out into the desert. If you wish to sleep, there is a large tent you can affix to the railings for cover of the night inside the storage right beneath me, right down here. Please make yourselves at home. I won't be sleeping for the next 2 days."
You won't?
I won't, no. Who would be piloting the cutter if I sleep?
Okay, if you need assistance, let us know.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice
Are you
tunes,
alright,
by the way.
Emily?
Thank you.
Right. All right. The rest of the day is yours. Is there anything you wish to do or talk about?
Violet is just mad at the world, so
Vesper's also kind of still fuming a little bit after the Velasco situation.
The Velasco fiasco?
Yes, the Velasco fiasco.
Is it even like does it even work talking to people? Or like it does, like there's nothing I will be, there's nothing really covering the ship, right? The sand cutter.
Is it loud?
It's not.
It's not. Okay.
There's like occasionally you go through some parts where you get hit by a bit of sand. But it's just the of the wind mostly, but it's not so loud that you guys can't talk.
All right.
I'll just I'll try to keep my eyes open if something appears in the horizon or near us.
All right, fair enough.
Haj'Draal will turn to Vesper and ask, "So, where did you guys go?"
It was just a quick trip to pick up the stuff and say some farewells.
And how did it go?
She kind of, like, you see, like, her eye twitches a little bit. She's just like, I'd rather not talk about it. But you said Sargon was cured. Truthfully, he was better.
Yes, he was truly cured. It's like he wasn't a different man. The same old man, I would assume.
She kind of relaxes a little bit in the shoulders, and after what you pulled that night, I believed that you could maybe fix him. So thank you, Haj'Draal. That was very brave of you and very powerful. I didn't know that gods could do such a thing at the whim.
As you probably know, Vesper, I'm only the messenger. I would never have that kind of power, nor would I ever wish to have that kind of power. But I am thankful that he did it.
Well,
Could have done earlier, but okay.
it seems that
Did Violet actually say that?
No one heard,
Okay.
unless you have.
She thought it to herself.
she thought it very hard.
Yeah, you saw a vein kind of in her forehead.
He would not have done it had you not asked, Haj'Draal, so I believe there is credit owed to you. And I just wanted to say thank you for sticking with us through this crazy journey. I know you haven't shown outwardly how much this has affected you, but I'm sure you're dealing with your own demons as well.
Of course, Vesper. You know, I'm pretty sure you're well aware that in this mission requires all the help that we need, and I do need you guys for this quest more than you can imagine.
And I'm sure you and Violet can get over whatever is going on. It's difficult, I know. It's especially after everything we've seen and everything we've done. I know you're both good people at heart, and sometimes we have to put aside our differences for the greater good.
And to that end, and Haj'Draal turns to Violet, like not really looking at her, but still like with his head a little bit down, and he says, Violet, I want to apologize if I crossed the line or if I sounded in any way threatening. You know, the last thing we would need, and that I would truly want from the bottom of my heart, is to get in a conflict with any of you. As I said, you guys are truly important. I think we should really act as a team, and I guess I never really voiced this out loud, but I do care a lot about you guys, as you probably have noticed. If my duty in this world is to accompany you and make sure all your wounds are mended and you can get up and keep fighting after a long beating, that wouldn't be so bad. So once again, Violet, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. I didn't mean no harm, and I hope that we can indeed bury the hatchet on this Sunday. Or as soon as you might prefer.
I will extend my hand.
Haj'Draal will tightly grip it with a handshake.
I'll say, we're good, but I would never feel threatened by you.
That's a good sign, Violet. We do need a brave leader, so.
God, man, Violet is such a bitch.
Now keep your watch, people.
All right. So you guys keeping a watch, I would like everybody to roll a perception check. If after this perception check, if you guys want to do anything else during this day, I would like you guys to tell me. If not, we will proceed.
22?
26?
24.
11.
Well, it doesn't even matter.
I'm not threatened by you. 11.
The Watcher.
Hey,
I just can't see if you're
I just
trying
can't
to be
see.
vicious.
The Sentinel.
So, does anybody want
She
to
got
do...
sand in her eyes.
Yeah, probably. Does anybody want to do anything else, or are we done for this first section of the journey?
Not really. I would say like Emily is just looking outside into the sand, just playing very calming tunes now that she has like her mind at peace. No more voices.
Indeed.
Just emptiness as always. No thoughts.
No brain. No thoughts. Head empty.
Yes.
All right, we've returned to regular Emily now.
Can I prepare spells?
You not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I will
Alright.
tell you whenever you can.
Okay.
Fast forward into the night. This is a short journey. And so, as it is a short journey, I will not make you guys roll. Because it will only be 2 days and only 2 of you could. I don't think that's fair. I think everybody should roll. And also because you could accidentally roll something good, and I just specifically want everything terrible to happen to you now.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm not like that. But yeah, I figured 2 days. Let's not roll. But this is the second ship that you guys have been on in recent time. The only difference is obviously that you're traveling through a sea of sand this time. The stars are out. The moon is half hidden. You can't help but look upward and around you, and it's still there. That void in the scintillating lights of the night. The scar, the wound that was carved in it, that you saw when you were at sea. It's bleeding out. You can see it try and consume the other stars, trying to blind you and your aspirations. It's deeply upsetting. What will it take to fix it? Can you even heal it? Is it a real wound? What exactly constitutes reality? Even now that your minds are protected, that unease is still there, however small. You're once more reminded in this night that it is a part of you. I need everyone to roll a wisdom saving throw at advantage for me, please.
26. Holy.
4. 14.
11.
At advantage, did you roll advantage as well, Violet?
Yeah.
I would assume you guys put up the night covers on the sand cutter, the ones that she suggested, that Nesli suggested. You put on the night covers and you're kind of sitting beneath them, enjoying a spot of conversation. Which one of you would be more prone to leaving the tent for a few moments?
I would say Vesper might. She's still in her head about the thing.
You hop outside, Vesper, and on the prow of the ship, you see a figure. A woman, or at least female in silhouette, wearing a black dress and a kind of very wide hood that covers her face. And you see a blue light, kind of where the forehead would be in the shape of an eye, kind of a loose design of a slitted eye. She takes off her hood, and you see a dark elven woman with holes for her eyes.
Ah, fuck.
She doesn't seem especially like gaunt or sick or affected by anything. Her skin is just very pale, her hair long and black. And as you walk out, you hear Nesli from behind, as the tent is kind of set really low, as you would imagine. Nesli from behind goes, "Hey, who are you? I don't remember." And the woman lifts up her hand and says, "Sleep." And Nesli falls down.
Cool.
I thought you were a hallucination.
No, I am not a hallucination. Very much not. Would you care to maybe get your friends? I wouldn't want you to be alone with me.
I suppose. Is she going to be alright? Pointing at Nesli.
Oh, I think she will. I just gave her something to think about in her sleep.
Vesper kind of slowly walks back. Guys? Get out here.
I'm joking.
Violet just turns into a cartoon sometimes.
Okay, I go.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck are you?
Well, Violet, Vesper, now that you get a close look, You recognize this as one of the women that was behind the orc when you've made the transaction of Aiden Dragonsbane to Lord Umbra and the Weave.
Did she have eyes then?
No, she didn't.
Oh, fuck.
I recognize you.
Right, you do. I recognize you as well. I thought I might visit you. I noticed that you have some protection. It was hard. It was hard to locate you, but your friend there, she wasn't there the last time, but your friend there, she was the first to give. Protection won't do you much, will it? I don't know your name. Emily. Protection won't do you much, Emily, if you don't strengthen your own will a little bit. Right.
We're all there, by the way.
In front of Emily a little bit to try to
You're all
Emily's
there.
just staring.
protectively.
Haj'Draal will say, "Who is this person?"
We don't know
her name.
her name.
Yeah.
You don't know my name. And I guess you won't today. I just really came here to talk. I don't wish to harm you at all. I wanted to ask you a few questions. Because some things that you have been doing have gotten me quite curious. So, why exactly are you doing what you're doing? What's your stake in all of this?
Since you guessed her name, can't you guess that?
No, I can't. I didn't guess her name. I knew it. I was told it.
Onion, is she... What did you describe her as? Sorry?
Dark elven woman with long black hair and kind of this like very long black dress with some leather armor assortments to it. Vacant, dark voids for eyes, and a slitted eye glowing on her forehead.
And we recognize this as a sign of the
Weaver.
Of the Weaver, right? Yeah. Okay. Haj'Draal will take one step forward and say, "We don't take kindly to your people here. Do you mind explaining?"
I was just visiting. Really, I just wanted to talk to you and understand why it is that you're doing what you're doing. Why are you going to Oaza? Why are you following Wiley's orders? It is a simple question. Sure, I could penetrate your minds, maybe look very deep into them and finding absolutely nothing. Because that's been done before, and the ones who did it found nothing because there's nothing in there. I don't mean this as an insult. I'm talking about this specific situation. Why are you doing this?
Why should we answer you? You've done nothing but hinder our progress.
I'm sorry. Me? No. I have not done any such thing. Those are the twins. The twins did that. I had no hand in even meddling with you, but I must say if the twins have been having so much trouble, I was curious, I will admit. This conversation is happening out of my own curiosity, and it is not the first time that my curiosity has gotten me into terrible situations, although I must say that this time I would be far more capable of getting out of them. So, why are you doing this?
So you're with them?
I am with my master. I am with the Weaver. I answer to no one else.
You've killed innocent people.
Define innocent.
You just answered me. I don't like you.
You're not
Well.
getting any answers from us.
Oh, look at you.
All four of you so feisty, but you, most of all, aren't you? I sense Meodref in you. There was a time where I was one of her chosen too. An enticing concept, isn't it? The freedom that she preaches and offers. Standing as a guardian against those who want to end said freedom, and then avenging those who died at the hands of the tyrants. Vengeance so noble. She is right to think she's in danger. You know, all of our freedom is in danger. Well, freedom as we know it, at least. Have you noticed that there are just certain chains that will stay bound to you no matter how free you think you are?
You do love to talk a lot. And Haj'Draal takes out his harpoon and puts his harpoon down in the ground. In the sand, that is. And he says...
Or the boat,
love to...
yeah. The ship.
Yeah, exactly. You love to talk so much. You could maybe shed some light on us on why you decided to become one of the Weaver's dogs.
Haj'Draal.
It's funny how confident you are. That you are the one in the right path. Very funny indeed. I was chosen to be where I am. And there might be some day where you will know the scent of your own nightmares. And then you will have to make that choice too. And so, since you are so fond of making these threats and so confident in who you are, I will ask you this then. Tell me please, Cleric of Apec, why are you alive? Is there any particular reason for you to live?
You can take that up with my god.
Exactly. You didn't choose to be here, did you? Yet you're forced to deal with the consequences. You're forced to deal with all of those chains. And now, to add to that, look at what you're capable of. Look at how confidently you've threatened me. I, myself, for example, could burn this ship with the touch of my hand. I could torture someone into telling me their deepest secrets. I've done it before. I could look up at the sky and summon a being of such horror that anyone who saw it would have their minds shattered away from their souls. Now tell me, Haj'Draal, if I were to do this, if I were to commit such atrocities, would you not kill me?
Can I make, can I tell if she's bullshitting?
Roll an insight check.
Oh, sorry, that was with advantage. First roll was 24.
My friend, this is an honesty so deep that it makes you afraid.
Is my hand burning?
One question.
Okay, my memory is very shit today. What did she just ask? Sorry.
I'll ask it again. I would just like to ask a question of you guys. The Emerald Daggers you had, who's keeping them and where are they?
I thought they were in the bag of holding.
They're all in the bag of holding. Okay, very well.
I thought that's where they were.
So what she asked you, Haj'Draal, was if someone were to commit atrocities like the ones she had just described, would you not kill that person?
As for me, I will do whatever is necessary, carry out my god's embargo. That's all there is to it.
A fancy way of saying, of course I would. And the irony of it all is that death wouldn't truly be the end. Only an already tormented soul would be capable of that level of terror, and trust me, I am tormented. But in death, those tormented souls must be tormented again, as punishment for the things that they did in a life they didn't ask for. The gods placed us here, then chose some of us to ascend and guide the rest like your gods. And they expected all of us to just be blinded by those sparkly little lights above and ignore the violence we're all capable of? No, really. Look at all of you. Look at what you're capable of doing. You say right now that you are doing this for your gods and to save the world, maybe. Maybe you'll tell yourself those lies. But who's to tell you that that's not my goal, too? Who's to tell you that after going through as much as I have, that all I want to do is for no one ever in existence to have to go through the same?
You say those things, but we've saw in the city we've been that your master is making people tired. You're sacrificing people to create or empower some kind of creatures. I don't know, threads?
Threads. What if I told you that thread, at first, was a man, just like any other? Now, that man committed atrocities. He did. I will admit it. What did you do to that man?
We killed him.
You are willing to go that far for your cause, to save the world your way. Why wouldn't I be willing to go as far as well?
Well, for starters, we aren't trying to ravage entire villages and put people in endless nightmares.
Endless nightmares. There is no purest reality than those nightmares. Those nightmares are our souls expressing themselves through our minds. Those nightmares have created things beyond your imagination and comprehension, yet so well encompassed within it still. Because in that night, Haj'Draal, where you dreamt of your brother returning alive, only to then find him dead again in the morning, that night where you saw him die, in those nightmares you have given us strength without even knowing it. That's because the Weaver is a part of you. It is a part of all of us, but it's not my job to convert you to anything. Nor do I want to, honestly. I'd rather just destroy you. It would be much more compassionate to end your existence. But as I said, I didn't come looking for a fight. I just wanted to feel the people that scared the twins so much. You forced them into guessing, into improvising and weaving faster than they ever needed to. Well, Wiley did, but you deserve some credit, even if you were her tools, of course. But it was nice knowing that you still have such strong convictions. I see a lot of myself in all four of you. In fact, all my companions used to be just like you. And yet now, they see the world for what it is.
Can I ask you, when were you brainwashed?
I was brainwashed from the moment I was born, and only a few years ago did I awaken from it. Now, darling, if you would, and jumping from the top of the mast and landing slowly
you see another woman with vacant eyes and the same glowing in her forehead, hooded with a long bow at her back and a cloak. We'll see you whenever it's time to see you again, Velox Mors. I hope that by then you've realized the cruelty of what you're doing. They disappear in black smoke.
Emily says, "No."
That's one way to put it.
And she'll check on our captain to see if she's okay.
As you look back, your captain... Ugh. Right. It seems that I've fallen asleep. All is well. Ship still steady. Fireball II saves the day again. All right. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I haven't fallen asleep in 4 days. Maybe that's why I did. All right. And she
You
stays at the
should be
helm.
better now.
I'm better.
I play a little tune to give her some bardic inspiration, just so that maybe she'll feel a little bit better for 10
Alright.
minutes at least.
She stands a little bit straighter when you do that. All right. Anything else you wish to do this night?
Sleep.
First, I wanna, in the sequence of that event, I wanna turn to them and say, all that talk about vanquishing us in such an elegant fashion, but the truth is, we're still standing. And why? She didn't seem like she was bluffing, but why didn't she?
I think she's trying to mess with our minds, and so we should just forget them. They weren't pretty. They looked mean. I don't like them, so we should just sleep.
Or maybe
You're right, Emily.
we are a tool for them.
I'm inclined to agree, because if we're such a roadblock for them, I wouldn't say a roadblock, but if we're that much of a soil in their plans, and they didn't just kill us right here and then, has to be for a reason. Maybe-
We are... Sorry.
No, say.
We are for the twins. Maybe they want us to kill the twins and take more power.
Does Haj'Draal know the twins?
You've seen the twins in the vision when you when you
Yeah, but
landed
aside
in
from
Port
that, I
Nor-
don't know anything about them, right?
No, sir.
Yeah. These twins, what exactly are they? Do you guys know something that I don't?
No, we just know that they were there, just like that woman, when we delivered the men to an
They seem to
orcish
have
kind
better
of
hands
creature.
in many places here.
Delivering the man. What exactly is that you keep talking about?
We already told you, but I'm going to tell you again.
Violet while snacking.
Yeah.
We are here on a mission because we delivered the men. We defeated and delivered the men to these people. And then Wiley, the person that the woman talked about, asked us to go rescue these men. That's what we are doing because probably, we don't know, but maybe this weaver that she talked about, her master, he's going to use that man for something. Maybe to gain power, maybe to destroy the world.
So it's connected. Makes sense.
Yeah, and those twins, I don't know if you know, they are part of the Azuri state, or they are the Azuri state, which was also connected to those sacrifices we got in Sogok.
It makes sense.
Giant cunts, those two.
Yep.
So
I already know about the twins, but I wasn't sure if Haj'Draal did so just to make sure that Haj'Draal is caught up on the lore and everything.
All caught up. All caught up.
Okay, good. So,
we didn't get the feeling that that person that I know the name of.
Both of them.
We didn't get the feeling that that person was connected to the twins, or was working for them, or working with them.
I mean, she kind of said no in a way. She just works for her master. She said that.
She works for her master, but she might be working with them as well.
It did seem that she, first of all, she knew all of your names. She knew to look for you. So there's definitely a possible cooperation happening, for sure.
Yeah, cooperation doesn't mean that she's directly working for them, but yeah.
Exactly.
But it could be.
Yeah, sorry.
She could be working with the other white-haired guy,
Gelgrinel,
Gelgrinel.
Lord Umbra. When you saw her last, you saw her with the twins, with that woman that was with her right now, and with the orc.
Okay. Well, we are fucked anyway, so let's go to sleep.
Yeah, we do not want to fight them. No. It
I
will
have a
happen,
feeling
but
things are going to get way rougher from here on out.
Oh yeah, and also importantly, it seems that we have a big target on our backs now.
The target. Yeah.
The target, Emily.
Only you could make that sound positive, Emily.
I'm important now.
Did we
Sorry,
feel that she
I've
was
always been.
actually very powerful?
Wait, what? Did you ask me something?
Yeah, did we feel that she was actually very, very powerful?
I mean,
I didn't get that she was bullshitting, and she,
Yeah.
I mean, she said she could kill us, and I saw that she was being honest. So
like, kill us, summon a very mean monster, do other shit, so yeah, no.
I mean, I can't really tell you. You're just gonna have to take your own conclusion out of what you heard and saw.
Yeah, she's weak.
we're gonna have to die and find out.
You don't threaten me? she's hurt.
We kill her easily. Let's go.
Yeah.
There's one thing though. You guys have gigantic passive perceptions. You did not notice the one above.
True.
None of you did. In fact, as soon as Haj'Draal stepped up with his harpoon, I was getting ready.
You don't want to get hit with that bow.
Oh no.
All right, so guys, sleep.
Sleep.
Let's mark a long rest. Haj'Draal, if you want to switch spells, you
Yes, thank you.
may do so.
I will.
As you'd like. Before we move into the second day of traveling, I will ask once again. During this day, is there anything you guys want to discuss, or do you want to move up to the little event?
Vesper would like to ask a favor of Haj'Draal. As long as he still has sending.
Yes, he does.
She would like to send a message to Gramps. And if I can just say it, and then so he doesn't have to repeat it and all that. I've already counted the words, it's good.
All right, go ahead.
Hello, Gramps. I hope you are well. We have left Port Nemeli. Have you heard from the family? Please be safe.
And I add a Vesper to the end. So he knows that Haj'Draal is not calling him Gramps and shit.
All right.
Alright. It is casted. Haj'Draal
Sends
will
the
do the
message.
same heebie-jeebies from the same time with sending. Send out the message.
You wait a moment. Another. Yeah, I was taking a shit. You scared me. Yeah, everything's fine. I haven't
Heard nothing from the family. I don't know what you mean by that. Eat your vegetables.
And you see, like, hearing, she has like a tear in her eye, and she just kind of slowly unclenches all of the tension that she's been holding for like the past day and a half.
Dee also had to unclench the butt cheeks there for a moment.
Haj'Draal puts his hand on Vesper's back and kind of like rubs it in comfort.
Thank you, Haj'Draal. I needed to hear from him.
He's okay, and we're all gonna be okay, Vesper.
Of course. We made a promise to him. Nobody dies.
Nobody dies.
Violet, you wanted to ask something a while ago?
Yeah. I want to
Break free.
pray, I guess.
I
Why do you have to
guess.
say it like that? Damn, Violet. Ugh.
I want to be the most hated cat character. I want to pray. I want to just close my eyes and think. I'm not going to say it out loud because that's lame.
Teenager,
And I
70
wanna-
years old, teenager still.
Hey, 70 years old elf.
Mm,
Okay. And I want to say, I just want a sign or anything that assures me that my daughter is alive and well. Or everything I do has no meaning.
Right. You say your prayer. Sand hits your head. The sun has risen or has been up for a while at this moment, and it's hot here in the middle of the desert, but fortunately you're traveling so fast that there's still kind of a decent movement to the air that doesn't just make it as unbearable. Your hand feels a little bit warm.
Fuck, I need to
Warmer
kill
than the
Catrice.
rest. It's
It's
not
all Emily's fault.
it's not burning and searing as you felt with her, with the woman. It's just warm. There's a little bit of a sense of comfort. But it's not a certainty.
Thanks, sis.
Anyone else? No? Okay, moving on. You're speeding through along the desert. The wind and sand kind of being quite bothersome as you are now hours, kind of, I'm going to say, deep into the afternoon at this point. And stinging your skin, even for the heavily armored and scaled dragonborn, it is tough. And the heat has gotten more intense now that you're like dead center in the desert. And the more you move along, it kind of seems to be getting worse even. Trees where you are like a distant dream. Sand is blasted all over the cutter, and shadow covers the sun for a moment as a large mass jumps over you. You look immediately back, and you see only a tail digging back into the sand, and the sand shifting and rumbling back in your direction. You hear Nesli laugh loudly, but seemingly largely unbothered as she goes, "It's a Dune Eater! They're friends!" And she shifts another lever into the cutter, and you see, you notice you begin moving in like S's up and down and in S's like that. And you continue looking out to see this creature, and you see a ridged back moving side by side in the same movements with the cutter, and then diving beneath the sand. It jumps out of the sand ahead of you again, and you see this 30-foot-long lizard with a hardened stone beak at the point of its long snout, and very, very dry, brownish, scaled skin that kind of seems thicker around the eyes. Its four limbs and then these like long and thick curved claws, and its paws and hands are kind of like very, very wide, almost like giant shovels. And it seems to be a very muscular creature as it dives again beneath the sand, and Nesli continues those movements, and the creature rides with you. And she goes, "See, I told you, you just have to know what to do." And she's just turning the wheel as fast as she can.
I hope you're right about that.
Could I see if it has holes in the eyes?
Regular eyes.
Okay.
It has regular eyes, and it just moves like that for a while with you before charging ahead of you and beneath, and then you look up at the sky, and you see the outline of these kind of bat wings that stretch out farther than you can possibly fathom at a very long distance. And you can see that the wings are sort of translucent, and the light from the sun kind of highlights the bone on the wings, on the outer edges of the wings. And you see this creature with it seems to be kind of a demonic lion's snout or face, looking down in your direction and kind of gliding for a moment.
Is that a friend?
It moves down, and she goes, "Right, that's a desert manticore." And as it dives down nose first into you, you see the kind of brownish texture of its skin. The teeth here, although in a regular manticore they would be very sharp, you don't see any teeth. You see only kind of these two, very similar to the lizard, these two protrusions on the jaws that seem to be hardened stone, almost to form a beak. And it's going at a nosedive at you, and then the Dune Eater jumps, and with its mouth open encompasses the entire manticore and crushes it inside its mouth before diving back.
I clap.
And
I clap too.
And Nesli says, "See, this is how you've survived for 127 trips with no accidents. You find yourself Dune Eater buddies." And she continues in the same movements as before, as you are now moving past Dune Eater territory.
Oof.
How are you allied with Dune Eaters?
You just have to mimic their dance. I think he thinks I'm like a female he has to impress or something. That works for me.
Huh.
The last time something flew at us that fast, Emily took the brunt of it, so I'm grateful it was the Dune Eater this time.
Right. The desert manticores, so sometimes their prey escapes very deep into the dunes, and so they have to be kind of shaped like an arrow of sorts, so that they can hunt down when they dig down deep. They're pretty dangerous, and they're not very nice. There's no dance I can make that will attract one desert manticore. Dune Eaters are much kinder, as you see.
I appreciate your expertise in this field.
I told you that this was the way.
Thank you, Leslie.
That's still not my name.
I don't
Thank you, Fuzzly.
So, the rest of the day will pass, Unless you guys want to do something else. No?
Nothing.
Alright. So, for the sake of brevity, after these 2 days of travel, and after the next night passes, just as the sun rises and you crest over a dune, not the movie, nestling, kind of surrounding a body of water, kind of Pac-Manning it, let's say, you see the reflections of bronze, gold, and then of a singular, immensely tall, ruby-topped tower. There are rounded and domed peaks, enormous bronze and sandstone walls that surround Oaza, the desert's gift. A city you recognize very well, Vesper, as well. The city is of a wealth and color that most of you haven't seen in your entire lives. Not even those from here of Kaifam, but most definitely not Violet from Vulcan. She has not ever seen something like this. Indeed, as you get closer, it's not just the light, sandy browns of the desert, nor the glint of gold and bronze that make up the city. There are sea greens, whites, oranges, bright reds, blues without any particular distribution. It is a very bright and seemingly diverse place, built around some sort of a lake in the middle of a desert. Nesli has to stop the sandcutter about a mile away from town on one of the docks. You see that this one is once again posted atop a cliffside, just like the one you had seen, but it has an elevator at the bottom that actually lifts up the cutter as she parks it slowly and lifts it up all the way to the top with the help of some beasts of burden. And she parks it in one of the docks and attaches the chain. And she goes, right, so you've seen where Oaza is. I don't think I need to really point you in the direction. It was a joy traveling with you. I hope you've enjoyed Fireball II. I accept tips.
I'll say thank you, Nessie. And I'll give her 10 gold.
Oh, thank you kindly. She grabs it, pockets it.
Perhaps you should get some sleep before your return trip.
I can see where you would make that assumption, and I agree to it. I feel quite tired.
Thank you, Nesli.
Thank you for the patronage.
Goodbye, Nettie.
Well.
Right. As soon as we get out,
Mhm.
since I know this is our destination, I will take the daggers from the
pouch,
the bag of holding
bag of holding.
and distribute to everyone.
You get a dagger, and you get a dagger.
So there are 5 daggers,
Um,
and there's only 4 of you. So one of you has to keep 2.
You're the boss. You keep.
I'm not a boss. I'm a leader, and I'll put
You're boss lady.
Jesus Christ!
boss and
Violet.
leader are different things. Thanks. I'll put the daggers on my
Very well. All right.
panties.
Oh.
Ow.
It scratches you a little bit. You just to remind everyone at home, these are daggers made out of emerald. Kind of, it looks excuse me. It doesn't look very worked by the handle and kind of the bottom of the blade, but it then progressively is sharpened into the shape of a dagger. It looks very rough around the handle and the bottom of the blade. Kind of like it even has like chunks of stone still attached to it.
Can I sense any magic?
Roll an Arcana check.
I suck. Oh, 18.
This is difficult. Because you're not using any spell to really understand this.
Hey, I have friends.
Make friends with the dagger.
You're gonna cast Friends with the Dagger. So it doesn't feel like a regular dagger, that's for sure. And it seems it's sharp. It hasn't lost its sharpness. And it's made of gem. It's made of emerald. There's no crack in it either. It seems resilient. That usually indicates some sort of magic. You don't know what type of magic it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We heading towards Oaza?
We go.
All right. You travel for that mile down in the direction of the southern gate of Oaza. And soon enough, you arrive at this kind of smattering of tents and smaller homesteads that surround the walls. You continue moving on through, following the throng of people that pile up along the road to enter the city. There are guards patrolling, wearing bronze-colored armor and bright red scarves and cloaks. Right at the gate, many of those guards are stationed, and they seem to be stopping people before they enter. But they don't seem to be too concerned or, really being stiff about this business. The walls are immensely tall, and they're lined with defense mechanisms from ballistae to things that are akin to a ballista, but that you don't know exactly what they are. And also full-blown cannons. Bigger than cannons that you've seen in a ship. When your turn arrives, to be seen by the guards, you see an older gentleman, kind of scruffy beard. He seems to be like in his 40s, late 40s maybe. And he goes, Good morning. I would like to see your paperwork, the paperwork that you've been given when you've entered the Empire through any of our
Yes,
outposts.
of course. I give the paper that was given to us when we entered the Empire.
All right. For democracy, you grab it. He grabs it.
I grab it.
He grabs it. He does the gesture to you. But he seems to actually like read into it. He's with some care. Closes it down, gives it to you, and says, "Very well. You may walk in to the desert's gift. I ask only that you don't cause any trouble, please. It has not been enough time since you have arrived here in the Empire for you to be being kicked out. You must also understand that the most of the shops in Oaza right now are going through tough times. So finding materials, if your business here is shopping, finding materials or finding things may be complicated, as most equipment is being sent north to the war efforts against Herskellen. I would also obviously recommend you visiting the Twilight District. It is a district for fun. And once again, if you are funding our town, if you are funding our city, you are also funding the war efforts of the Tsol Empire. I'd like to remind you of that. Please do stay away from the Ravi Gehad, the giant palace. We would appreciate you keep a wide berth from that region, as the palace is currently under heavy protection. You must understand that our Empress lives there, and it is our duty to protect her in such times of war, even if she disagrees with that and would much rather walk in the city alone at some inappropriate times. But as
Yes,
long
of
as
course.
as long as you are respectful to our people, we will be respectful to you. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope you have a wonderful time.
Yes. What did Wiley say when we reach Oaza? We need to go where?
Twilight District to a place called Fortune's Oasis.
Okay. What did you
Do I
just
know
say
that
about
place?
Twilight District?
The Twilight District is our district of you know, fun.
Fun.
There are casinos, there are, you know, places where you
Have fun.
have fun. Exactly.
And can you point us that? Where is it?
Of course. And he points out east, kind of to the southeast of the city. He points out east. Says, you go through here, then take a turn there, another turn there, and then you take a backflip, continue moving forward, and you will be at the Twilight District.
The backflip strictly necessary.
Yes.
Fair.
Damn.
If you do front flip, you will be in a completely different place.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too.
How
Right.
nice, Violet.
Shut the fuck up.
There it is.
And it's over.
We were fasting on that one, weren't we?
Dude, she gave no time. Poor Haj'Draal, so happy. Oh, damn, she's growing. Nope.
I'm always nice to guards. I don't want us in trouble, of course.
All right.
Okay,
So-
should we go there directly, straight
Yes.
We should go gay into
for
that
democracy?
Yes. Take the rainbow out.
direction. Well, now that you mentioned that, as you're moving across the city, there are pieces of cloth kind of hanging across the streets in multiple colors, kind of breaking the monotony of the orangish cobblestone. You see tenements that are very tall, houses piled on top of houses, to the point where you can only just see those towers that you saw in the distance peeking above them in the richer districts. But you are moving straight, or gay, to the Twilight District, right?
Do we feel like the people are tired, like in Port Nemeli?
To a lesser degree.
But they are.
They seem to be, but to a much lesser degree.
And-
There are hints of joy and of people asking you to buy their wares or to come look at their wares. It is completely different. It's just that lingering feeling. It might be you exaggerating it. You're not quite sure.
But the feeling that we got when we were traveling, is it stronger here?
No. In fact, it seems weaker here.
Oh, that's a pleasant surprise.
It's just still there. It's weaker, but
Okay.
it's still there. And it's kind of like that mosquito at night when you're trying to sleep. It's that kind of feeling.
Any person with no eyes?
I'm gonna need you to roll a perception check.
Oh shit. 12.
I'm gonna keep that in mind. If you see one, I'll tell you.
Thank you. Okay, so we go, right?
You move along the city to the eastern neighborhoods towards the Twilight District. Once again, people pass by you. There's music on certain streets, which is quite exciting for Emily, actually. People do seem happy or maybe just kind of unworried comparatively to what you saw in Port Nemeli. They're clueless. They're clueless of what the world is facing. They're clueless of what you had to go through to get there. They're clueless to the suffering of other people. They can't be clueless. Certainly they have their own troubles here. Why is it that you just felt that sudden anger? That mosquito feeling. Why did it hit your mind just then? Emily. There was a time where all of this color, where all the music, all the talking, all the people, all of it would be inspiring and welcome, and to an extent, it is. But then it's almost borderline too much. Too much stimulation for your racing brain. occasionally as you pass, you see yourself in them, but not your face, not like before. You just see who you were, happy and joyful. It's just who you were. But you continue moving. You have to walk for quite some time. I'd say maybe close to half an hour. The streets begin to kind of open up a little bit and the flow of people is reduced. Some of the buildings become quite flamboyant in their display, but their darker tones don't seem to quite fit with the rest of the city. You pass by an establishment that has these dark purple tones and statues, paintings, and carvings on it of promiscuous scenes. It has wonderful balconies ornamented with plants and flowing arches and large windows. It's kind of a cornered building. You pass by it. Doesn't seem to have much activity. Vesper, you had been in Oaza, so it is easy for you to guide the group to where you need to go, and eventually, yeah.
Can we know, or Haj'Draal maybe, or maybe Vesper because she has been here? Does this city is it religious? Do they pray for a specific god?
This is just like the entire empire. Their biggest faith, the one that is native to the empire, is that of the All Mother. Mm-hmm. It is stronger here in Oaza because the Empress lives there, and as I said before, the Empress is believed to be kind of an avatar for the All Mother. But any faith is allowed.
Okay.
Whichever one you follow, you can practice it here, and you do spot not here on the Twilight District, which you have arrived now, but before you had noticed like small shrines to Haj'Draal, other to sort of orcish goddess that Haj'Draal knows to be Aegir. Then there's some others to these very, very tiny little shrines that usually have instruments placed next to them of a halfling god, which Haj'Draal knows to be Bellic, the god of joy. There are just little shrines here and there, little altars. There are temples, Vesper knows, kind of farther off. Definitely not in the Twilight District, not in the Sex District. There aren't, but there are quite a few temples in here in Oaza, but none of them are as big as anything dedicated to the All Mother, since it is, you know, where the Empress lives. So, eventually, you reach these lush, exotic gardens full of palm trees and fountains, and then a single road that leads to a wide sandstone building that seems to almost have kind of nature embedded into it, with trees and vines that go in and out of the stone structure of this place itself. Above this single pathway that leads to the entrance, there's an arch that reads Fortune's Oasis. Did you go?
We go?
Yeah.
We go?
Very well. The pathway that you follow, this little road, turns into a red carpet that leads you to the doors of the establishment. And as you walk inside its marble-floored lobby, the air suddenly becomes thicker and more humid. It's almost jungle-like in feeling. Above the lobby of this place, yeah, it makes you feel quite at home, Vesper. Above the lobby, there's this domed ceiling that is completely made of glass, letting the sunlight in. To your right, you see numerous game tables, which are currently mostly empty. And then to your left, you see a bar / kind of lounge area that stretches out quite far. It seems to have these kind of mini makeshift waterfalls and fountains spread around the place, kind of like a casino has all those weird things. And the floor continues in marble to that side, to the lounge side. Although on the game area, it's kind of covered in multicolored tapestries of geometric shapes that are not too dissimilar from the ones you saw in Port Nemeli. There are some people lounging and eating breakfast, but at this hour, there aren't many folk in the establishment, after all, or at all. Excuse me. Especially game area, it's mostly empty. What do you guys do?
We don't see Wiley anywhere, do we?
Roll a perception check for me.
18.
18. No signs of Wiley.
Should we sit down
Wait.
and maybe talk to the waitress and say, Velox Mors is here. Is there anyone who wants to talk to us?
Good idea, I guess. She might have sent word ahead.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Alright. You sit down, maybe order a drink if you want.
It's morning, right?
Yeah.
I want to be
Day drinking.
Right, you can get your drinks, food, whatever it is you like. You say that Velox Mors is here. The waitress goes, "Oh, right. Very well." And she moves back.
She knows.
Does she know?
Could I get the sense that she knew who he was, or who he was?
Can I insight check?
Where?
We are.
You can definitely go. You can definitely roll an insight check for me here.
Or maybe she just looked at me like, "What the fuck? Okay, sure." Insight, you said?
Yeah.
13.
Seems honest. Seems to at least recognize your name, definitely, yeah.
Okay. At least she knows us. She heard about us.
You wait. 10 minutes pass. 20. And on the 30th minute, you begin noticing that quite a few people are walking inside. Some head to the games, others head to the lounge. They order food and drink, sit around. Then more people walk in. And more. You start noticing that a few of them are looking at you. Some side-eye action happening.
Counter side eye.
Counter side-eye. I have to make that spell sometime.
But no light.
Anything you want to do?
Emily.
Yes.
Are you alright? I had a feeling you might enjoy this city. You don't seem quite as cheerful.
Well, a lot has happened, and I'm a bit afraid of what will come next. So I'm just...
Fair. Are you still seeing the, well, visions, whatever they were?
No.
Or have they stopped?
Please stop. I'm good.
No.
Look! And I cast Prestidigitation with a little flower alongside a little me.
Oh.
Sure. Presentation can just do anything.
Haj'Draal cracks a smile.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Emily. I think it's weighing heavily
Excuse
on all of us.
me. Excuse me. You see a human gentleman wearing a burgundy long coat and a vest, kind of standing next to you with a cane. His graying black hair reveals he's somewhere around his late 40s. He goes, "Forgive this intrusion, but I would like to ask that you surrender without causing a commotion.
You are surrounded by about every dusk crawler on this side of the city. It's best if you just come quietly. The alternative is obviously violence, and with the Isil Koruma already on edge because of the war, it would be quite unprofitable for everyone involved.
Isil
What the dust
Koruma.
crawler is?
So first, Isil Koruma is the city guard.
Okay.
The very elite city guard of Oaza. A dusk crawler is either... It's difficult for Vesper to fully know, but it's somewhere between kind of a gang member or a mercenary. You never really quite understood the dynamic, but it seems like these dusk crawlers, they kind of don't have any allegiance to themselves or to people who are called dusk crawlers, but you know, they kind of work as a gang, but then they also work as mercenaries to other shit. Pretty dangerous group.
What have we done wrong? We're just sitting here.
Right, exactly. You're sitting here. You're Velox Mors, if I'm correct. Right.
Yes.
Yes, you told the waitress. Well, please, just accompany us. There is a contract out for you, and we only seek to deliver you. If you would like the specifics, there are about 25 of us inside the Fortune's Oasis right now, followed by close to 50 on the way to the place where we must deliver you, for a total of 75 men waiting to receive your very large reward. So, if you could please accompany us in peace, we would appreciate it. We, of course, respect your strength, and so I would like to let your casters know that we have appropriately placed across the city, as well as inside here, and he points to a few gentlemen, mages that are capable of either silencing your folk or dismantling their spells before they are formed. So, if you would please just accompany us, avoid any sort of violence. You would certainly kill a lot of us, I admit it, but you will die in the end, either at our hands or the hands of the Isil Koruma. Most likely at their hands. I will be completely honest, I don't think that if we were to fight 1-on-1 or even 4-on-4, we would be much of a match for you.
Can I tell if
Sure.
he's being honest about what he's saying?
Go
Like
ahead.
the number of people.
Roll an insight check.
I wanna roll that too.
Go ahead.
Can I use my, what's it called?
Me too.
Keen insights?
You can.
So I could get an advantage.
You can
Okay.
spend the key point.
Yeah.
Insight, right?
Yeah, insight.
Oof. I'm glad that I did. That was 15.
11, 10.
18.
He seems to be very honest about everything he just said. This man seems to be very serious and polite with you. It does, with an 18, especially for Emily, Violet could probably kick his ass very hard. But the numbers talk seems to be real, and there also seems to be a certain respect paid towards what is or was essentially at the beginning a group of bounty hunters, probably just like him.
I
So,
guess.
let me get this straight. You're trying to capture us for a bounty in broad daylight in the confines of your city,
Indeed.
and you're with the guards.
No, not exactly, but the guards are definitely not with us. But at this moment in time, the Twilight District doesn't have many patrols. At least not patrols that our... I hesitate to call him boss, but indeed it is what he is at this moment. Our boss has some good contacts within the city that have stopped patrols in this area for this moment, ever since you have arrived and made your presence known here with the waitresses of the Fortune's Oasis, which are innocent in all of this. To be fair, they are only really looking out for themselves. They are poorly paid here, and our boss pays them for the delivery of information. Please, just follow us. You will be and I will be straightforward, most likely incarcerated. But it is all process.
Can I look around to see, like, if, like you was talking about mages and dust crawlers, can I look around to see if I identify any of them? If I see anything?
There are, at this moment, about 4 people that seem to, you know, be with their hands... They don't have any weapons, and they're just with their hands lifted and looking at you. There are all types of rough folk with blades, some with crossbows. Some are have quite a, you know, a very well put together appearance. But yeah, there's the numbers he speaks of, at least inside here, seem to be real. Outside, obviously, you gleaned that he was speaking the truth, but you wouldn't know.
Well, we have no choice.
Yeah, I think we have to go.
Yeah.
While we go, can I whisper to Haj'Draal? Maybe send a message to Wiley? And I will quickly show myself as Wiley. Then
you see that the gentleman goes, excuse me, if you would refrain from using your magical items, please. We do not want to start any, you know.
Oh, sorry. It's just a joke, inside joke I have with my friend.
Right. Please. May we get a move on? I'm being paid to do this.
Sure.
Alright, we'll go. Is there any way that I can cast Sending without them noticing?
They will notice it if you cast Sending, definitely. It requires a somatic and obviously you speaking as well. It could be inside your mind, but just the somatic components of you moving and...
No, it doesn't need to be inside here, just when he can.
Yeah, whenever he has a chance, of course.
Okay, alright.
Alright. Well, you walk outside of the Fortune's Oasis, escorted by those 20-something men. And outside, there are quite a few more of those rough individuals just waiting in the gardens. They carry swords. Some of them have their hands, again, on those crossbows. Others have staves and wands. The man with the cane leads you across the streets. Your overall escort is kind of kept distant from you, but within fighting reach. You see that some of them are taking to the rooftops and watching over you. You're guided to a tenement here in the Twilight District. It's an old building, and parts of the darker stone that kind of makes for the large part of it are cracked. The wood around the windows is also kind of old and broken. The door for that building is open for you, and you're guided into a cramped space where there's a staircase kind of leading up and then another leading down. You're pointed to go down as the gentleman goes, please do walk downstairs peacefully and quietly. Outside, a watch is being kept by our best falcons, and we have a few mages of our own to either trace you or stop whatever magic you'd like to perform. We are in no way, once again, comparable to you in skill or power, but there are many more of us, so please do take that in mind. I'm truly sorry that this is being handled in such a way, but your considerable prowess requires it. My name is Creston. I hope that next we meet, we do so in more favorable circumstances. And he points you to head downstairs.
Go downstairs.
Are we alone? Why are we going downstairs?
While you're going downstairs, you look up, and on the staircase, you have people looking down on you. Some of them aiming crossbows, others have their hands at the ready. There's at least, like, on the staircase up, there are at least like 10 people with direct eyesight on you. You walk down the stairs and you notice that first of all, the building gets a lot darker. There's not much light here in the lower levels, and there aren't any torches lit. But another door is open for you. And you walk into sort of this basement space where more men and women with swords and daggers kind of stare you down, as well as some with staves. They point for you to continue moving through this room and around the squat square pillars that support the place, and through to another door that leads into a more spacious room with quite a few cells on the side. A woman there that seems to be wearing robes, has very short, spiky black hair. She talks to you. Please, if you could leave your weapons with me, I would appreciate it. And she extends out her hand.
I don't give anything. I'm like, I just have my instruments.
I suppose instruments could be allowed. Out of respect for you. But please, Madam Lizardfolk, your staves?
Why do you need my staves?
Surely you understand.
I have no intention of attacking anybody.
There are hundreds around you that could kill us.
I understand. The respect is still great. Please, if you could give us your weapons.
All right. Take both of them, hand them to her. Treat them with care.
Of course. Master Dragonborn, please, your harpoon.
Haj'Draal doesn't say a word. He removes his harpoon and he places it on his hand.
As you place it on the woman's hand, you see the harpoon shrink into just a bar of steel. Madam Elf, I have heard that your weapons are usually your fists. Do you carry any other weapons with you? Perhaps the daggers you carry around your belt?
Yeah, sure.
Grabs them. They don't seem to even pat you down, fully just trusting your honor in this. She places them or stashes them in a chest, and then directs you to one of the cells. You move? You're directed to one of those cells, and you're kind of thrown inside. It's dark in there, but as the torchlight kind of flickers, and you look in the corner, you see kind of the glint of this gem-like fractal, and a figure walks forward. You see earthen skin, crystalline hard hair, one purple eye, and a square jaw. Finally, you're here. I was thinking you'd never make it. Where's the old man? As you see Grime stand in front of you, and that's where we're going to end today's episode.
Oh no, it's gonna be juicy. No. No. Oh boy.
It's gonna get awkward.
Oh, so awkward. So awkward.
Hey, this is my new girlfriend.
Which, by the way, was your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
My God.
Well done, folks. We're gonna pick up at that next week. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun for me, as usual.
Oh God.
I'm sorry I'm doing this, but
I have so many thoughts.
dude, Mick and Fish are just gonna be spectating that tension.
I'm gonna bring popcorn next session. I'm just gonna be eating it the whole time.
Emily's gonna be the soundtrack.
Yeah. No, they have no stakes in this whatsoever. It's gonna be funny. But yeah, well done, folks. That was a lot of fun. Either way, once again, to anybody watching out there, we are going to go, but we will return next week by the same hour. This episode, hopefully, oh yeah, a quick note about this episode. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to upload it in a timely fashion, but if it's not Monday, it will be on Tuesday, or it will be on Monday, but just with shit quality if YouTube's processing thing doesn't just do it in time, because I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to upload it. But it will be uploaded, and you will find it there. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see each other next week for drama. Potentially. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.